What happens to all the stuff we return? A friend's daughter, who is in her 20s, just bought 6 new clothes. She was asked to a college classmate's wedding, but she knew ahead of time that she would turn down all but one of the invitations. Joni Deemer, co-founder of Crazy Coupon Lady, says, "You never buy just one swimsuit or wedding dress." For some internet clothing stores, returns now make up about 40% of their sales. Along with steady growth in online shopping, steady growth in returns has also been seen. Every January, a forest's worth of fake Christmas trees are brought back. There are bags of green fake Easter grass that come back every year. Big screen TV returns go through the roof right after the Super Bowl. When bad weather happens, people buy portable generators and use them until the bad weather is over. Then they take them back. It's common for people who have been asked to fancy parties to buy expensive clothes or accessories and then return them the next day, caviar stains and all. This is called wardrobing. In real shops, customers can also return items they don't want. Desmer said, "Petco brings back dead fish. Home Depot and Lowe's let you return dead plants for a year. You just have to be shameless enough to stand in queue with the thing you killed." I went to a 3-day meeting in Las Vegas last year put on by the Reverse Logistics Association. This is a trade group whose members deal with returns, unsold goods, and other capitalist flotsam. The pitch is getting bigger. Dale Rogers, a business professor at Arizona State, and his son Zachary Rogers, a business professor at Colorado State, gave a talk in which they said that winter holiday returns in the U.S. are now worth more than $300 billion a year. At the conference, I joined a roundtable led by Nikos Papaioannou, who handles returns for Amazon's house brand electronics like Kindles, Echoes, and Blink home security systems. I asked him what percentage of returned items are resold as new. If the seal has been broken, if the wrap is not intact, then it's not going back to the shelf. How we get here? For a long time, an unbelievable number of internet returns were just thrown away. DIF stands for Destroy and Field. This still happens with cheap clothes, broken electronics, and expensive things, but not as often as it used to be in most product categories. People often think that the online shoe store Zappos, which opened in 1999, was the first to make it easy to return and exchange items. Sam Walton learned this way of doing things when he worked at a Penny's store in Des Moines in 1940. 22 years later, Walton opened his own chain of stores called Walmart and kept the same easy-to-return policy. Homer Simpson, "The customer's always right. That's what everybody likes about us." 100 years ago, Penny's had an average return rate of about 2%. Before online shopping really took off, retail returns were more like 8% to 10%. Now, returns to online stores run around 20%, and returns of clothing are often twice that. One reason is that products don't always look like they do in pictures online. For example, one buyer bought a knitted bikini top that was just the right size for their cat. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, online shopping and returns grew several years faster than before. Lawyers who were quarantined bought fewer neckties and more sweatpants and bedroom slippers. People who were suddenly forced to work from home ordered desks, chairs, and computers. Before the pandemic, a common way to shop was to look at possible purchases in a regular store and then save a few dollars by ordering from Amazon. When shopping in person became hard, this became the best way to shop. Stores try to keep up. Sellers have to pay a lot to accept returns because the cost of shipping the items often exceeds what they can be sold for again. As a result, many stores have shortened the time they will refund customers or charged fees for postage or restocking. Other sellers only offer store credit. Amazon now includes a label that says frequently returned item on some listings to warn potential buyers to check descriptions and customer reviews twice before placing an order. Online eyeglass store Warby Parker makes it easy for customers to return items. They let customers order up to 5 frames to try on at home with no risk. The company still lets customers do that, but the cost of returning items has gone down by using a more advanced online tool that lets customers try on glasses virtually. They also have stores with mirrors. Even though it costs them, stores worry that making returns harder will make people not want to buy in the first place. Easy returns are like free shipping. They can make or break a customer's decision about where to shop, even though the customer ends up paying for both. Most online mattress sellers offer free returns, sometimes for up to a year. Since used mattresses can't be sold again, the loss, usually about 8% or 9% of sales, is built into the price. When asked about making it harder to return items, Chuck Johnston, who used to work at Walmart as a senior director of returns from 2005 to 2012 and is now the chief strategy officer at GoTRG, a returns management company, said, you have to be careful not to lose your customer. Because of this, sellers are not only trying to make returns harder, but also making them easier. For example, some Target stores now have drive-up refund windows, and many online returns don't even need to be repackaged. Just get a QR code from the seller's website and take the item to a place that consolidates shipments. Amazon Prime members can try before you buy certain clothes and accessories for 7 days. You only pay for what you like. You don't have to send something back to get a refund from some stores. For example, when my wife tried to return a funny poster for a high school reunion, Amazon told her to keep it and gave her a $32.72 refund. This is something that companies that sell sofa beds, dining tables, and other big, heavy items often do as well, since return freight is so expensive. A brand new business grows. Someone will pick up your loose cash. Liquidity Services runs 8 regional warehouse-sized facilities in North America. The one in Pittston, Pennsylvania is on the edge of a business park that also has distribution or return facilities owned by Amazon, Home Depot, Lennox, Neiman Marcus, PepsiCo, and a few smaller companies. The rise of online shopping has been great for people who build huge, low, flat-roofed metal structures. Liquidity Services has a website where you can sign up as a buyer and place bids in any of hundreds of auctions. I didn't do that, but I did spend a nice morning looking at the things other people were bidding on, such as a 2-pallet lot with 654 pounds of sports-related Amazon returns. The lot had 7 pellet guns, 6 clear plastic umbrellas, 8 yoga mats, a minnow trap, an indoor exercise trampoline, a pair of hiking poles, 2 hoverboards, and more. There were 50 bids on the lot, and the winner paid $9.25, which did not include shipping. No one was willing to offer more than 15 cents on the dollar, and even at that price, they were taking a chance because they didn't know if any of the items would still work. Items that have been returned are often broken, dented, scratched, or not working at all. And even ones that don't look too bad can be missing parts or accessories. But some companies do more than just quickly sort and resell goods, usually in large quantities. America's Remanufacturing Co., or ARC, based in Georgia, is one of them. It contracts with brand owners to take back returned items and, when possible, fix or refurbish them so that other people can sell them. ARC is also one of Amazon's outside repair vendors. ARC knows how much an item could sell for again, how much of that price the brand owner is willing to spend on repairs, and how much each possible action would cost. Some problems are too expensive to fix. For example, broken pump pressure washers are stripped of their useful parts and thrown into a steel hopper to be sent to a nearby recycling company later. In the spring, I met with Paul Adamson, the chief revenue officer of the company, at ARC's building in Union Point, Georgia. The building is on Industrial Boulevard, a short, bumpy road with an upbeat name. We walked through the receiving area, which was a big, open room full of new items, household appliances on tilting stacks, and yellow bins full of random Amazon returns. We stopped in front of a pallet that had 6 Husqvarna pressure washers stacked and tied together with plastic wrap. These washers were made under license by Briggs & Stratton. Sorting units by model and year of manufacture, workers checked the electrical parts and replaced broken parts with parts from returns that they couldn't fix. At the end of the queue, a worker replaced each Husqvarna label with one from Murray, a brand owned by Briggs & Stratton. Each unit also got a new serial number and a new box that made it clear that it was a refurb. These will all end up at the discount chain Ollie's, where they'll sell for maybe half of what a new one costs, Adamson said. It makes sense that the pandemic was good for the used market, since supply chain problems made new things hard to find in many places. Adamson said that a lot of the returns ARC gets are remorse returns. People who order something late at night after drinking too much wine or whose spouses order the same thing by accident. I saw bins of Amazon window curtains in another part of the building. Many of them were still in their original packaging. Pressure cleaners, on the other hand, are often sent back because the buyers didn't read the directions. You're always supposed to hook a pressure washer up to water before you turn it on, but a lot of people don't do that and they burn up the motor, he said. I asked Briggs & Stratton if they couldn't fix the problem by adding a shutdown switch to the water tank. He said that wouldn't be a good use of money, and that a better idea would be to add an extra warning tag or sticker. A lost set of skills. CEO of RT David Hogan showed me around another building where the company works. 2 technicians were working on upright vacuum cleaners at a workbench. These vacuums were high-end enough that ARC could afford to give each one a lot of personal attention. There aren't many people left like the 2 technicians Hogan and I saw who can fix things. When our dishwasher, washing machine, or oven broke, My wife or I would call a guy who owned a local appliance repair company. One time, he fixed our dishwasher by taking the grinder apart and removing what he thought were broken pieces of ceramic. They were actually coyote teeth, long story. People are partly to blame for this change because they are ignorant and lazy. But manufacturers are also to blame. Almost all modern appliances contain electronics, which not only have a short lifespan but are also hard to fix and expensive to replace. Our old repairman told my wife and me that we should always buy the dumbest appliances we could find. That was good advice, but it's almost useless now because even blenders and coffee makers contain electronics. Another problem is that most products today aren't made to be fixed. You can see it when you get inside the product, like we do, Hogan said. A lot of it is the choice of materials or how they were put together. Two big problems that make it hard to fix are parts that are glued together instead of screwed, and pieces that were snapped together with plastic fasteners that come off when the pieces are pulled apart. Last week, Hogan was on a panel at Georgia Tech's Ray C. Anderson Center for Sustainable Business. He asked the other people in the room to imagine a world where goods were so well made and easy to fix that there would be no need for a company like ARC. He told me, "Let me make you an offer in theory. I'll sell you a nice, expensive computer for the same price as the one you have now. However, it will last twice as long, weigh half as much, have twice as much memory and processing power, and the battery will last twice as long." The only catch, he said, would be that nothing could be returned, no matter what. He said this was Georgia Tech's Sustainability Center, so these were very smart engineering hippies. There were about 40 or 50 people there, all with MBAs. Hogan thought they would all jump at the deal, but not a single hand went up. He told her, "I was blown away. I definitely chose the right field. Like, share, comment, and subscribe."